Okay, so right now we are going to start, and it's already 10 minutes past our starting time, and we would no longer wait. I'm sure those who would want to join would join us as we continue. We would not have to wait for them any longer. So I want to welcome every one of you to this course. Now, this is Mastermind Authors College, and we're here for a 3 month online book writing and self-publishing course. And I do believe that with the help of this course, or at the end of this course, every one of us will be able to write our own books, without needing anybody to, help us write. I've been a freelance writer for more than 5 years, and I've helped a lot of people write their books. Some I helped to edit their books. But with this college, with this online class, you wouldn't need anybody to help you, write your book. With what you would learn here, you'll be able to write your book from the beginning, till the end of the book. And so today is our introductory class. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to just introduce the course, what we're going to be doing for 3 months. We're starting today, being the 9th of January, and by the 27th of March, we should be done with the course. And my intention is that at the end of this course, you would have a certificate, as a proof that you attended this college. And my main goal actually is that by the end of this course, you should have your book published. I would be very happy, at the end of the course, when you are doing your project, because you're going to do a project. I will show you the course outline. You're going to do a project, and at the end of that, your project would actually be your first book if you haven't written any book before. Or your project could be any work that you want to do, any writing job that you want to do. But I would, love for you to conceive a book idea beginning from today, and we will start working on that book idea together, so that by March, when you are graduating this college, you will have your book published. You will be a published author. Good. And so what are we going to be doing in this course? I'm going to show you what we'll be doing in this course. I saw Pastor Miron just come in. You're welcome. So in this course, we have an outline. So I'll show you what the outline is like for the course, and how we will be able to achieve everything we have in the outline. Okay, good. So here we have about 5 persons, right? If you have any question while I'm teaching, I think you could just maybe write in the chat that you have a question, and then I would unmute you, or you could unmute yourself and ask the question that you want to ask. Good. So I'm going to take you to the course outline and show you what we'll be doing for 3 months. Good. So yeah, this is it. Okay, so you can't see my screen right now. You can only see me, right? Can you see my screen? So if you want to respond, just unmute yourself. I think you can unmute yourself from your end.
No, I can't see the screen.
Okay, you can't see the screen. Okay, good.
Yeah, I can't see it also.
Okay, good. So I'm going to share the screen again for you to see the course outline. Good. So now, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. So I will move. Yeah, so this is our course outline. Today is introduction. So today's class is going to be introduction to the 3 months course that we're having. And then after the introduction today, next meeting, we will talk about writing. We'll go into book writing proper. Everything you need to know about book writing, we would discuss them. And I would be glad to use your book or your project, that your book idea, to teach. Or I would be glad to help you convert all your book ideas, into an exact book, an actual book that we can publish at the end of the course. So we'll talk about writing, book writing, everything you need to know. And then after that, we would talk about proofreading and editing. And then we will talk about how to design a book cover, where to get someone to design a book cover, or how to design a book cover by yourself, and how to do an interior decor for your book. And then we'll talk about how to publish your book, and you wouldn't need anybody or pay anybody any money to help you publish your book at the end of this course. And then we'll talk about marketing and distribution. So one thing is to write a book, another thing is to market the book and distribute it. So if you look at this picture here, you would find that this is like somebody's head, right? Somebody's brain. And you could see that there are a lot of books inside his head. What does that mean? It means that every one of us have books on our inside. We have ideas that we could convert to books. So how many books do you have in your head? We are here to help you write them. Just it was this yesterday, I saw Dr. Sunday Adelaja wrote on Facebook that by God's grace, he has been able to write 500 books. One man has written 500 books. And some people don't even get to write one book in their lifetime. But here is a man who has written 500 books. So what does that mean? It means that if he could come up with 500 book ideas, then every one of us has at least, 10 book ideas. If you don't write any book at all in your lifetime, at least write up to 10 books. It means you have those ideas in your head. I think I've said this before for those of you who attended HMT some time ago, that I have more than 130 books, ideas in my head already. I have the titles written down already. And in my lifetime, I'm going to produce those books. Now, I have only published 2 of them in my name. But the truth is, every single day, I'm writing a book because I'm a freelance writer. So I help people edit their book. I help people write their book. But the main thing is that everybody has some ideas in their head that they could turn into books. And the essence of this course is to help you convert those ideas into physical books, tangible books that people could, buy and read and get impacted by. So now we all have ideas, but we need to awaken to those ideas. I'm going to read these quotes for you by Orson Scott. Everybody walks past 1,000 story ideas every day. Everybody walks past 1,000 story ideas every day. The good writers are the ones who see 5 or 6 of them. Most people don't see any. Now, if you want to be a good writer, you must be awakened to ideas. Now, why? Because for you to write 500 books, or to write 10 books, or to write 20 books, or even to write 2 books, you have to be awake. You have to, see events that happen around you and think about how you could convert these events into books. I have come to a point in my life where everything that happens to me, or everything that happens around me, becomes a book idea to me. That is why I was able to get more than 130 book ideas, book titles I have already. So by the time you finish this course, you would be so awake that whenever somebody is even talking to you, you could get a book idea from what the person is telling you. Whatever any event is happening in your country or in your home, it could become a book, and you can write a book about anything. So the goal of this course is to help you awaken to book ideas. So today in this introductory course, what are we going to do? We are going to do, I'm going to tell you why you should write your own book, because a lot of people do not know why they should write a book. But I'm going to show you, give you a few reasons why you should write your own book today. And then after that, I'm going to show you what we are to expect from this course. And then I will show you the course schedule. And then I will show you the types of book genre. And then we would have a summary for the course. So why should you write your own book? That is the first question that we need to discuss. Why should you write your own book? Why should you, become an author? The first thing, now this is in no particular order, right? So there are several reasons why you should write a book. And I think the first reason, which is not the most important, is that when you write a book about a topic, you become an authority or an expert in that field that you have written about. For example, if you write a book about parenting, you would become an expert in that field. Other parents would want to come to you and seek counsel and ask you, I'm having this challenge with raising my kids. What should I do? Now, just because you wrote a book, people begin to see you as an expert. And of course, you are, because for you to write a book about a subject, it means that you have researched that subject and you've gotten a lot of understanding about that subject before you can write. So when you write a book, you become an authority and an expert in that field. From the word author, authority. So you are an author. When you become an author, you become an authority, and people would want to reckon with you and seek you your counsel, invite you for conferences, and for webinars to come and present that idea that you have written about. Now, the second reason why I think you should write a book, which for me is very important, is that when you write a book, your book becomes an avenue to impact the world with your message. Every one of us has a message. There is something that bothers us. There is, something we want to change in society. There is something we want to change in marriages. Something we want to change everywhere. At the workplace. That thing, that message that you have, you could turn it into a book, and when it becomes a book, you can easily impact the world with that message. And when you write a book, you could be in Nigeria and somebody is getting impacted with your book in Japan or in the United States. Very important. So I think that everybody should write a book, because that is one of the best ways to impact the world with your message. Why should you write a book? Now, when you write a book, you have created a legacy. Now, what does that mean? It means that even after you die and you exit this earth, your book will still remain. People will still read your book and people will still get blessed from your book. People will still learn so much from your book. So while you've exited the earth, you still live on. What does that mean? It means that authors don't die, because even when they die, their book live on. And as long as their books live on, they are still alive. You could pick Dr. Miles Monroe's book now and read it, and you would hear him talk to you. You would listen to him from his book. So he's impacting you from the grave. So what does that mean? It means that he is still alive because he had a product, he had a book, with which he can impact society, even after he has exited the earth. Yeah, you could pick a book of somebody who lived 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and still get impacted, from that work. So what does that mean? It means that that book is a legacy. So your book could become your legacy. The fourth reason why I think you should write your own book is that it will help you develop a new skill. There are a lot of skills that you could learn, and one of the most important skills I think everybody should learn is the skill of book writing. When you learn how to write, you are learning a new skill that you never had before. And the more you write, the better you get, the more professional you get. When I first started writing, and first of all, I want you to realize that nobody is born a writer. Everybody who writes today at one point had to learn how to write. So when you learn writing, you are learning a new skill. When I started writing, I felt that I didn't have the skill. I didn't know how to write. But the more I wrote, the better, I became. And I could tell you that I've written over 30 books, as a freelance writer. I've worked on over 30 books in about maybe 5 or 6 years, time, duration. You can do it. You can learn how to write by from this course. And after this course, you write your first book and you write your second book. And before you know it, you become a professional that would even begin to teach other people how to write. Maybe the second to last reason I think you should write a book is that, or learn how to write a book, is that your book could be your second source of income. There are a lot of people who write book and they sell 1 million copies, 2 million copies, 10 million copies. That is a source of income already. So you already have a job, but writing a book could become a second source of income for you. Sometimes you may not even make money from your own book, but if you have the skill of writing and you pick up a freelance writing job, you would make a lot of money. For those of you who visited my website, you saw, perhaps you saw how much we charge people for freelance writing job. So if you learn how to write, you would make a lot of money, as a freelance writer or by selling your own books. Okay, good. The last thing I think, the last reason you should write a book is that when you write your own book, there is this feeling of fulfillment and accomplishment that you get when you see your book, printed. When you hold your book in your hand for the first time, you feel fulfilled that, wow, this is my brainchild. This is my intellectual property. This is what I was able to convert from my ideas. So you have that feeling of accomplishment and that feeling of fulfillment. You begin to feel like, okay, I'm not wasting my life. At least I have achieved something, in my life. So those are the reasons why you should write a book. Good. So what are we going to expect from this course? What should you expect from this course? Like I said, this is a 3-month course. What should you expect? In this course, you're going to learn how to generate book ideas. A lot of people don't write books because they don't know how to generate book ideas. I'm going to teach you in this course, within this 3 months, how you could generate book ideas. Secondly, I'll teach you how to write titles for your book. There are people who have book ideas, but they don't know how to title the book. One of the challenges that my clients have when they come to me that they want to write books is that they have the ideas, but then when I ask them, how should we title the book? What will be the title of this book? They don't know what title to give to the book. So I'm going to teach you how to write a title that would attract people and a meaningful book title. The third thing you need to learn in this course, that you would learn from this course, is that you would learn how to write a synopsis. Every author needs to first write a synopsis before the main book is written. So I will tell you what a synopsis is, and I'll teach you how to write a good synopsis that would make your writing job easier. And then the fourth thing that you would need to learn from this course is how to write an introduction for a book. If you write a very good book and you mess up your introduction, some people or most people would not even go to read chapter 1. When they read your introduction and it is messy, they give up on your book. If you have all the gold mine in the chapters, but as long as the introduction is messed up, nobody wants to read your book. So I'll teach you how to write beautiful introduction, and I'll show you examples of some introduction that we have written in the past, both good introductions and bad introductions, and I will show you the mistakes and how to correct them. And then again, how to write a dedication, how to write an acknowledgement, and how to write, these two, dedication, acknowledgement. I help people write books, like I told you, but when I'm done writing the book, I feel that, okay, I'm done, my job is over, right? The authors are supposed to write a dedication and an acknowledgement by themselves. But I realized that most or some of my clients also do not know how to write dedication, so I have to do that for them too. Now, what does that mean? It means that you need to learn how to write dedication and acknowledgement, and I'll teach you how to do that in this course, so that if you are writing your own book or you are working as a freelance writer, you could also help your clients write dedication and acknowledgement for a book. And then the next thing you would learn from this course is how to write a copyright page. Your copyright page is as important as your book, because if you write a book and you don't have a copyright page, anybody could plagiarize your work, and you don't have a proof that this is your branch, that this is your work, because you didn't write a good copyright page. I'm going to teach you how to do that. What else do you need to expect? I'll teach you how to write a foreword for your book and how to get forward for your book. Actually, when you write a book, You don't write the foreword of your book by yourself. Someone else does the forwarding for you. So I'll teach you how to get, someone to write a foreword, and who should you, ask to write a foreword for you. Will you ask anybody to write a foreword? No. I'm going to show you how to choose people who should write a book forward for you. And then number 9, very important. I think number 9 is one of the most important, thing you're going to learn from this course. How to convert your ideas into chapters and sub-chapters. There would be no book if you don't know how to convert those ideas, remove those ideas from your mind and from your brain and put them into chapters and sub-chapters. That is where the work is when it has to do with writing books. I've worked with a lot of clients, like I said, but most of them don't know how to take these ideas, or they don't know which idea to put in chapter 1 and which idea to put in chapter 2. So I'm going to teach you how to do that, how to create chapters and sub-chapters. If you can learn how to put your ideas into chapters and sub-chapters, you have already known how to write a book, because that is the most important thing. And then after that, the 10th thing you're going to learn from this course is how to write a reference page, an author biography, and a blog. If you write a book, if you write a book and there is no reference page on your book, you will not be able to publish that book. If you go on Amazon and you want to publish that book, the book would be rejected, especially if you copied some information from the internet, from other sources, right? So I'm going to teach you how to write a reference page. Very important. Without a reference page, you will be guilty of plagiarism if you took some information from other sources while you're writing. And then I'll teach you how to write an author biography for your book and a blog. So the blog is like the book description. I'll show you how to do that. So all of these are writing courses. And then after that, we'll move on to number 11, which is how to edit your book. You don't want to write a book that is full, with errors and mistakes. You have to be very careful. Before you publish your book, you must do proper editing. And I'm going to show you how to do that and introduce you to some editing apps that could help you do a good editing. And then number 12 is how to self-publish the book and print the book. Like I told you at the beginning, most people pay me money to publish their books for them. But if you learn how to do it, when you finish writing your book, you don't need to pay anybody any money. You will, publish your book by yourself. Right now, in recent times, people don't use traditional publishers anymore because it's so expensive, right? You don't need to go pay some thousands of dollars for someone to publish for you, to become your publisher. No, now you can publish your book by yourself. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'll take you to the site and show you step by step of how you can publish your own book, and then how to print your books also. And then the 13th thing is how to publicize and market your book, which I said is very, very important. You need to learn how to publicize and market your book. Very, very important. Good. Now, a few persons came in. I would quickly want to welcome them. So you're welcome. I saw Sister Choma came in. You're welcome. Pastor Liron, you're welcome. Smart Innocent, you are welcome. We've gone, almost halfway, but I hope that you will be able to get the recording if we're able to successfully record, and then you would listen from the beginning again. Good. So the next thing we're going to do in this course, I'm going to share my screen again. So I'm going to show you the schedule for the course. I'm going to show you the schedule for the course. So today is 9th January is our schedule. 9th January, we started with course introduction. So what we're doing right now is introduction to the course. By the 16th of January, which is next week, right, I'm going to teach you, hope you can see my screen. I want to be sure.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, good. So by 16th of January, I will teach you how to get book titles, how to write synopses, and then I will give you assignments. And by the 23rd of January, we would do how to write a book introduction, which I said is very important. How to create a table of contents, and then I'll give you some assignments. On the 30th of January, we would focus on how to write chapter 1 of your book. Very important. The chapter 1 of your book will tell whether readers would drop the book or continue reading the book. I told you before that your introduction is very important, but there are a few persons or a few people who don't read introduction. They just go straight to chapter 1. For example, if you have your book on Kindle, sometimes people, when they click on your book on Kindle, on Amazon Kindle, the book goes straight to chapter 1. So they don't get to see the introduction of the book. Now, if your chapter 1 is not, enticing, if it's not interesting, nobody wants to continue reading such kind of book. So I'm going to show you how to write a chapter 1 that will captivate people's attention and make them want to continue reading the book. And everything I teach you about chapter 1, you can replicate it in all other chapters of your book. I'm going to teach you how to write an intro and an outro. So the same thing you do in chapter 1, you will just replicate in other chapters. And then by the 6th of February, I will teach you how to get stories for your book. It's very important. Every book that you're going to write, I will teach you how to get stories and put stories in your book. And when you put stories, I will teach you how to prevent plagiarism, because these stories, most of them would be coming from different, sites where you get them. And you must learn how to put the link from where you copied your work so that you will not be accused of plagiarism, when you want to publish your book. And then I'll teach you how to put quotes, in your book also. Very important. Every author must quote other authors. You are not the only one who is knowledgeable in that topic that you want to write about. Some other persons have written about that topic before. So it will be nice for you to quote them in your book so that you use those quotes to buttress the points that you're trying to make in your book. And then on the 13th, is somebody say something? Yeah, please, could you mute yourself if you don't have a question, just mute yourself. But if you have a question, you could let me know in the comment section and unmute yourself and ask the question, okay? Good. On the 13th of February, we would learn how to write conclusions. You can write a very beautiful book, and then at the end, you mess it up. People want to have they want to keep a memory of the last thing they read in your book, such that, even after they drop the book, they are done, okay, someone's trying to come in. Even though they are done reading your book, they will still remember what you said, because you wrote a good conclusion. So we will look at how to write a good conclusion for your book, and then how to write a reference page on the 13th of February. Good. 1 minute. I need to quickly, let me see. I need to share my screen again. Good. Yeah. So 1 minute. Okay, good. So after 13th of February, seems like this is voting. I want to move to the next page, but yeah, let me see. We can move. Good, yeah. So on the 20th of February, we will talk about how to write a blog for your book and how to write an author biography, and I'll give you assignments. Now, when I say assignments, everything I teach you, I'm going to give you an assignment on what I've taught you. And during the class, we will check your assignment, correct all your mistakes, and make sure you are close to perfection before we move on to the next topic. On the 27th of February, I'll teach you how to write dedications, acknowledgements, how to write a forward, and then project topics. Now, what do I mean by project topics? I told you at the beginning that it would be a thing of joy for me to see every one of you publishing your own book at the end of this course. So this course will end on the 27th of March. On that day, I would be glad if we are publishing your book. So what does that mean? It means that beginning from today, you can conceive a book idea and say, I want to write a book about this or about that, right? And then when I teach you how to convert those ideas into chapters, your part of your assignment will be to keep building your book. And for every class, you bring your book, we see what you have written, we correct, I will personally help you correct your mistakes and tell you how to better write it, so that at the end of the course, every one of you will become authors. And that would be a great thing. I don't know about you, but I feel that that is, when I think about the fact that you could all become authors in March, it gets me excited. You know, you may not be excited about it, but it gets me excited, because I would be glad to see you apply what you learn from this course, right? And use it to produce your own book. So that is what I mean by project topics. I thought that you would pick your project topics by 27th of February. That means you would decide which book you want to write. You have it's your book, you choose any topic that you want to write about, right? But I'm thinking that if we do that by 27th of February, the time will be too short between that time and March. But if you pick a book title by next class, for example, we could start working on your book together until the 27th of March, and you would publish it. Good. Now, on the 6th of March, I'll teach you editing, so proofreading, editing, and editing apps. And then I'll give you a project assignment. On the 13th of March, I'll teach you how to get an ISBN. What is an ISBN? What does it mean? And how to write a copyright page, how to do designs, self-publishing. 20th of March, publicity, printing, marketing, and distribution. I'll teach you all of that. And then by the 27th of March, you would be presenting your project, that book that you have written, or that's anything that you write, you know, as your project. You would present it on that day, and we would have a graduation. I would give you certificates as proof that you attended this course. Good. Now, quickly, in the few time that we have left, I want to teach you today types of book journey. Okay, types of book journey. This is the first thing that you need to know. This course actually we're going to focus on non-fiction, yeah? But there are 4 main types of book journey. I want you to pay attention to this, because I'm going to ask you some questions. As soon as we finish this, I will ask you some questions based on what I'm going to say right now. 4 main book genres. They are drama, fiction, non-fiction, and poetry. Our course will focus on non-fiction, but it is important that you know these 4 genres, because when you want to publish your book on Amazon, they're going to ask you which genre does your book belong to. So you have to know it, right? So drama, we all know what drama is. Drama is a play for theater told by a character. Fiction. So fiction is a story that didn't happen. So you're writing a book about a story that didn't happen. That is fiction. The story didn't happen in real life. It's fiction. Then non-fiction, you're writing something that is real and factual, or something that actually happened. And I told you that this course would be focused on non-fictional writing. And then we'll have poetry, which is you're writing using languages and sounds in special ways to express your ideas. I'm sure if you did literature in secondary school, you should already know this. But I didn't do literature. You know, I was a science student, but maybe some of you didn't do literature also. So it's important for you to know it. Now, every book has a genre and a sub-genre. They are going to ask you on Amazon or anywhere you want to publish your book. You have to show them the genre and the sub-genre of the book. So for drama, right, drama has 2 sub-genres. They are comedy and tragedy. So, you know, comedy is, you know, a story, a drama that is fun and that ends on, you know, a pleasant note, while tragedy is a sorrowful drama or a sad drama. Okay. Then under fiction, we have about 8 subgenres: fantasy, folklore, historical, mystery, realistic fiction, romance, science fiction, and thriller. Okay, we're going to look at each of them briefly. And then under non-fiction, I'm going to show you. Now let's look at fiction. So under fiction, These are the subgenres. Fantasy. What is a fantasy? Any story that describes a fantasy world is a genre. For example, if I'm fantasizing that I'm seeing a plant walking towards me, that is fantasy. It cannot happen, you know. I'm just fantasizing. So such books would be called fantasy. And then we have folklore. So folklore are old cultural stories. They include fairy tales, fables, myths, legends, and tall tales. And then we have historical fiction. Now, historical fiction, you are writing a book on fiction, but it is based on a real history, something that happened in the past. For example, if you decide to write a book about the Biafra War, that was an event that happened. So what are you doing? You are writing a book about an event that happened, but you are using characters that are not real. So it is fiction because the characters are not real, but you are talking about an event that happened in real life. So that is historical fiction. And then we'll have mystery. Now, mystery is a story about a crime. And then we'll have realistic fiction. So this is a story that seems real. It looks very real, but it is not real. So it is called realistic fiction. And then number 6, we have romance, the love story. And then we have science fiction. So science fiction is that you're writing a book about something that will happen in the future, like a technological advancement or a medical breakthrough. So you're writing a book about something that will happen in the future. It is called science fiction. If you follow the news about coronavirus, when coronavirus first came out, there was a book that was trending on social media that was titled The Eyes of Darkness. And they said that the author wrote the book sometime in maybe 1980 something, right? And the book was predicting that there would be a pandemic in 2020 and that it would emanate from Wuhan. So something like that would be a science fiction, okay? Then number 8, we'll have thriller and suspense. So this is a story that makes the reader nervous or excited. Most of the movies that you watch that get you nervous and excited are actually produced from books that are thrillers. Good. Now, non-fiction. What are the subgenres of non-fiction? So we have biography. So our focus, I told you, will be on non-fictional writing. So we have biography. It's a story of a person's life. Now, if I write a book about Pastor Neron, for example, 2 people want to join the call, okay? If I write a book about Pastor Neron, I'm writing about his life. I'm writing a biography. If you write a book about me, about my life, you are writing my biography, okay? And then the second thing is autobiography. So for autobiography, the author is writing about himself or herself. Now, if I write a book about myself, that is an autobiography. But if you write a book about me, that is my biography, not my autobiography. If I write a book about Sister Chioma's life, right, I have written a biography. I've written her biography. But if she wrote that book by herself about her life, it is an autobiography. Good. Then the next thing is number 3, narrative nonfiction. So narrative nonfiction, you are telling a story, you are writing a story that happened in real life. That is narrative nonfiction. Most of you, your book will be based on narrative nonfiction, except you want to write a biography about your life. Okay, and then we'll have periodicals. So periodicals are magazines, newspapers, and journals that are written regularly. They are all non-fiction. And then we have the last group, which last subgenre of non-fiction, which is called reference materials. So reference materials are books with facts in alphabetical order. So we have the dictionary it's an example of the reference material. Thesaurus and encyclopedia are examples of reference materials. Okay, good. So we would move quickly. So I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay, good. So I'm going to share my screen again with you. Tell me if you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, good.
Yes, okay.
Okay, good. So now we've looked at fiction and non-fiction. Now let's move to, we need to go look at poetry, right? Let's see. My laptop is trying to, good. Okay, yeah, we got it. So this is poetry. Let's look at the subgenres of poetry. Now, poetry has three main subgenres: lyric, narrative, and dramatic poetry. So we'll have lyric poetry, narrative poetry, and dramatic poetry. So what is lyric? Lyric is a poem about the speaker's thoughts. So when you write a poem about your thoughts, that is the lyric poetry. Then secondly, we'll have the narrative poetry, where you write a poem that tells a story. For example, there was Lekki Massacre, right? If you write a poem about Lekki Massacre, telling the story of what happened, okay, that would be a narrative, poetry. And then we'll have number three, dramatic poetry. In dramatic poetry, words spoken by a character. So you are writing, sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so you must have watched what is called spoken word. So spoken word would be an example of a dramatic poetry. A lot of people do dramatic poetry these days. So these are the genres and subgenres of books. Let's run through them again. So drama has two subgenres: comedy and tragedy. Fiction has about 8 subgenres: fantasy, folklore, historical fiction, mystery, realistic fiction, romance, science fiction, and thriller. Non-fiction will have biography, autobiography, narrative non-fiction, periodicals, and reference. And then for poetry, we have lyric poetry, narrative poetry, and dramatic poetry. Okay, so good. Now, this is your test, your first assignment, which we're going to be doing now. So I would read number one, or you can see the screen by yourself, but I'm going to read it. Number one, you tell me what that is, and then like that. So number one, a story about plants that come to life. You don't need to tell me the answer, but maybe if you know it, you could write it in the comment section. So a story about plants that come to life. First of all, you have to tell me, is it fiction, non-fiction, drama, or poetry? So that is the genre. And then you tell me the sub-genre. So if I write a book about a story about a plant that comes to life, is it fiction? Is it non-fiction? And what are the sub-genres? Is it drama or poetry? What are the sub-genres, okay? So you could write that in the comment section. I hope somebody is writing something, yeah? Is anybody writing? I'm going to be checking the comment section now to see if you're writing. So that is the first one. The second one, okay, somebody's writing. Let me see what is written there. Charts. Good. Now, the second one, a book about the life of a famous soccer star. So if you write a book about Cristiano Ronaldo or about Messi, how will you classify that book? What genre is that and what subgenre is that? Okay. Then third one, an encyclopedia entry that describes vitamin E. Where would it fall? Is it fiction? Is it non-fiction? Is it drama? Or is it poetry? Number four, the humorous play, the taming of the shrew. Where will you put that? It is a play and it is humorous. So is it drama? Is it fiction? Is it non-fiction? Is it poetry? You have to classify that. And then we have number 5, a long poem about a hero named Achilles. Where will you classify that? 6, a weekly newspaper called Main Street Times. So this is a weekly newspaper. What will be the name? And then number 7, a sad play about the character Oedipus Rex. It is a sad or a sorrowful play. How will you classify that? And then a poem about a girl's ideas about friendship. Number 9, a story about life in the year 3023, something that will happen in the future. And the last one, a story about characters who lived during World War I. The characters are not real, but they seem real. So let's see the answers to the question. So the first one, a story about plants that come to life. So that is fiction and it is fantasy. I actually said that while I was teaching that if the plant was walking towards you, that would be a fantasy, right? So a story about plants that come to life would be fantasy. Non-fiction, the second one, book about the life of a famous soccer star will be a biography because it's non-fiction. And then an encyclopedia entry would be a reference material because it's non-fiction. And then a humorous play would be drama. It would be a comedy. It is humorous. And then we'll have a long poem about a hero. It's an epic. So it is under poetry. And then we have weekly newspaper. It's a periodical. A sad play. It is a tragedy. So it's under drama. A poem about a girl's idea about friendship. It is lyric poetry. And then a story about life in the year 3023 will be science fiction because it's talking about the future. And then a story about characters who lived during World War I, and these characters are not real, will be fiction. But what kind of fiction will that be? What kind of fiction will that be? Where is fiction? So what kind of fiction will that be? It would be realistic fiction. Good. So now, summary. There is no greater agony than burying an untold story inside you. I believe that every one of you have stories that you want to talk about, something that bothers you, a part of the society you want to change or impact, okay? You have that story inside you, but you don't know how to convert it into a book. That is why this course was created. So that story inside of you, Maya Angelou says that if you don't write that story, if you don't tell that story, there is no greater agony than that feeling that comes. So I will be very happy at the end of this course if every one of you would convert your ideas and your stories, your message into a book. Facebook is good. I see a lot of people writing on Facebook, writing their ideas on Facebook, but convert it to a book that will outlive you even after you die. So that is the goal of this course. And like I said, it will be a 3-month course. You saw the schedule there already. I'm going to post this recording when we're done on the group so that everybody could rewatch it and see the schedule. I think I will put the schedule also on the website. So you could visit the website and see the schedule, or I'll post it on the comment section on the group chat on Facebook. So I don't know if they're going to log us out anytime soon, but maybe somebody has 1 or 2 questions that they would like to ask. But before that, this is a 3-month course, and I would really want to help you, write your book until your book is published. Beginning from the next lesson, once you have a book idea, I'm going to walk you through the whole process until your book is published. And everything I teach you will apply it to your book. So that is what I want to do. Now, there are a lot of courses where they just give you videos to watch, but I want to interact with you. I want to see your mistakes. I want to correct them until your book is eventually ready. Now, for this course, you are going to pay like a registration fee or a commitment, something to make you serious with the course. Yeah. And I told you I'm going to give you a certificate at the end of this course. Now, how much is this course going for? It is very cheap. It is just $100. Somebody's trying to join now when we're done. So this course is going for $100, right? And it covers everything for the 12, for the 3 months I'm going to teach you. It covers your certificate also, and it covers all the counseling sessions I'm going to give you, even outside the course, because I know that when we meet every week, it may not be enough to actually help you convert your book from the beginning till the end. So I know some of you will still write me outside classes, to seek explanation on how your book could better be written. I will be available to do all of that for you, okay? So what I will do is, for those who are interested, who really want to continue this course with us, right? I'm going to send like the price in Naira. I don't know how much that would cost in Naira. Somebody's asking me to say the price in Naira, but it's $100. So you could convert it to Naira. I don't know how much the exchange rate is now, okay? But it's $100. So I'm going to put on the comment section, an account number, a Nigerian account number that you can actually pay to, okay? And once you have paid, please just snap a receipt and send to me. You could send that to me personally, not on the group chat. You could send it to me personally as a proof that you have paid for this course. And then those who have paid for the course would have a separate group, a special group where we would continue to have classes and have lectures and have counseling sections until your book is eventually published and until we finish this course. Good. They didn't log us out, so maybe you have a question that you would like to ask. By the way, I created a YouTube channel also for this Mastermind Authors College. So when we're done this recording, actually, I think the best thing to do, I will put this recording on the YouTube channel, so you could go there on YouTube and rewatch this presentation again. And for every presentation, for every webinar we would have, you would see it on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, okay? So I would post the link to the YouTube channel on the Facebook group, and I'll paste the account number there also. So if you have a question, you can ask me. Like I told you, today is just an introduction, okay? Real learning would start from next week. So does anybody have a question quickly? If you have a question, you could signify, and then I will take your question. Let's do that in the next 10 minutes here. Any question? You can unmute yourself if you have a question and ask that question.
Yeah, okay, please, I want to ask, I didn't get the part that of the monetary aspect of it, because a call just came into my phone, because I'm actually using my phone. Okay. Please, I just want to get those information correctly.
Okay, thank you. So this course, everything you need to pay for this course is $100, just $100. And I think it should be around 30-something thousand Naira in Nigeria, in Nigerian currency, okay? But it's $100 and it covers everything. And I'm going to give you a certificate at the end of the course also. That is all included in that price. Okay, who else has a question? And by the way, I hope that this time is good enough for everybody, because I chose this time because right now in Nigeria, we started around 7 p.m. in Nigeria, and I think maybe 6 p.m. in the UK, I don't know. And in Ukraine, it was 8 p.m. here in Ukraine. My sister in Qatar, they are 1 hour ahead. So it was 10, I think it was 10 or 9 p.m. in Qatar. So I think this time is good for everybody, right? Pastor Miron is the one who is staying far away with a different time zone, but he was able to join us today. So I guess that the time is good for him also. Okay, good. So the chairman said this is a good time. Okay, good. Yeah, so some other persons couldn't join this call today. I hope that somebody wrote me and said, taking excuse, okay? But I would love everyone to watch this video again I'll put it on YouTube, like I said. For those who didn't join, maybe they could also watch on YouTube. Okay, good. And then, Sister Choma, thank you so much. I think you are one of the reasons why I created this course. Like I said at the beginning, I have a lot of people who come to me, to help them with their books, right? But Sister Choma was the person who brought the idea. She was the first person to ask me, when am I creating a course for people who want to learn how to write? And I looked at it, I said, okay, why not? Because almost all the time, people come, they want me to help them do the writing. They don't want to learn how to write by themselves. They want somebody that will do it for them. I understand that maybe they don't have time, they are working, they are busy. I understand that. But I feel that it would be better if you learn how to write by yourself, so you don't pay so much money to somebody else. If you saw my website, you saw the price that they pay for me to write. It's huge. But if they learn how to write, if you learn how to write, you can do it yourself. So you don't need to pay somebody to do it for you. So that is why we have this course. So if there is no other question, I want to appreciate every one of you. Like I said, I will drop the account number on the chat on Facebook, and I will drop the YouTube link. Mrs. Choma said, awesome initiative. I'm so excited about this. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And every one of you, you can express how you feel. This is just the beginning. This is just introduction. But don't forget the goal. The goal is that at the end of 3 months, we want to see a book with your name on it. A book written by Smart Innocent, published after this course. A book written by Adewale. That is what I want to see. It will be that would be the greatest fulfillment for me, that everybody is able to write a book. DSA is talking of 500 books, yeah? Some of us have written only 2 or only 3, but we will get there. With this knowledge, I believe. And let me say this to you. Once you write 1 book, you can write 2, you can write 3, you can write 4, you can write 10, you can write 20, once you are awakened to write. Okay, good. So I'm not going to take your time anymore. If you leave me, I'll keep talking. I'm a talkative, okay? So I don't want to take your time anymore. I will see you next week. That is next Saturday. I will see you next Saturday. And I hope that before next Saturday, I will get your receipts of payment, and then I will add you to the group where I will drop the link for the next webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. I wish you a great year ahead. And my dream and my wish is that this year you would become an author. Thank you so much, and do have a good night wherever you are. And for Pastor Nero, maybe have a good day. See you. Bye, everybody.